Houston Texans. We got competition. Linebackers is probably the hottest thing that is being talked about. Um, at least outside of the wide receivers, those are probably two arguably the best ones. But so we'll focus on the linebackers for sure. Um, who are you looking at, Zach?
Um, well, because you said earlier that the only person with a for sure position is Christian Harris, I'm gonna omit him because I do have a lot of expectation for him, and I think he's a D'Amico guy, and I kind of expect him to be the leader of the defense. To be quite honest with you, but aside from him, Henry Toa, I told you I think he is D'Amico Ryan's. Like
Yeah,
I see he may not be an immediate like impact, but I think he's gonna play a big part as the season goes on. And also Blake Cashman. And we talked about him the other day. It's like he kind of fits a D'Amico linebacker. Like if you go back to what we talked about the other day, it's like D'Amico doesn't want the big brute. He wants the fast, violent, swarm the ball kind of linebacker.
yeah,
Cashman is a converted safety, so he fits that bill. And I see those guys playing linebacker for us. I think that's why there's a lot of competition because they, and then also Denzel Perriman because he's still playing for a spot, you know.
yeah,
And he's got experience, so I can see why D'Amico would like him also.
yeah. I look at Cashman, and I mean, you keep seeing how pesky he is with both Mills and with CJ. I mean, he keeps getting interceptions. He keeps getting batted balls down. Like he's just very feisty.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, you said it best. Christian Harris. I mean, we all have high expectations for him. Henry Toto was a pig, so I mean, you're gonna use him well. But I feel like just those three alone, like interchangeably, you're gonna be working very well with. But man, like just seeing how they always say iron sharpens iron, and seeing these guys go at each other for a spot, it comes back to that word you always say, culture. The culture
Culture.
that D'Amico is bringing to this team is nothing is handed to you. You're going to fight for this spot, and if you don't want it, then I will get you and find somebody else.
I mean, I can understand why there's competition too, because like we haven't even talked about everybody. Like Garrett Wallow's still on the team, Jake
Yes.
Hanson's still on the team, and I know people kind of look at them as an afterthought, but there was a couple games last year where tight ends were just murdering our linebackers. I mean, they were beating us like a redhead stepchild. And Lovey finally put Jake Hanson in there, and he's like, "No, I'm fast enough to run with a tight end." Garrett
Yeah.
Wallow's like, "I can cover the middle of the field for you." So like, I can see how there's use for those guys, and I like it. I don't know if there's what to expect from him, but I know that we're gonna get effort from him. Like,
Yeah.
who's gonna let down D'Amico as a linebacker when your head coach comes in as, you know what I mean? It's like the greatest linebacker this team ever had is my coach. I can't let him down.
And that's what I don't think people realize that when it comes to players and their coaches, like I mean, a lot of course people that did play, like they always talk about like, yeah, I had that one coach, that was like would always get me to do what I needed to do. And you see it in the pros, and D'Amico's that guy. Like if anybody can get to, like you said, especially the linebackers, it's gonna be him. And he knows the position, he's gonna set his guys up to do good, and it ties always back into you appease your coach when you can, and you give him D'Amico type of players.
Not only that is the linebackers are doing for D'Amico what I want all the positions to do throughout. I told you, I think Caleb and I were talking about it one time, and I think the question was like, what is a good season for like Mechie or whatever? And I said, outplay Nico Collins. Make me not want him.
Yeah,
Give me a reason to cut this fool. You know what I'm saying? And that's what the linebackers are, because you're not hearing a damn thing about Christian Kirksey. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
So like they're doing their shit. That competition works. We're earning our spot. We're getting rid of the weak links, and that's what I want to see in every position battle.
And you're like you go to Christian Kirksey, and we always joke with you because you don't like him at all. But the thing is, the last time you heard about him, he was on the sidelines with just his helmet, just chilling, and it's like you're getting outplayed, bro. Like it's just simple as that. And I mean, if CJ as a rookie quarterback had to earn his stripes against Case and Davis Mills, there's no exception for you. Like
Mm-hmm.
D'Amico and Nick have both seen that it's new this season to where they're like, if you do not last, you're going to get kicked. And that's where it kind of feels like when Amari Rogers left, it was like he felt like, I'm getting out of here. Like,
Yeah.
and so you can see it with the linebackers of what they're going to be doing, because some of the positions, of course, we have very little like center position. It's kind of like, all right, well, we just lost one. But when you're that in depth and you're playing, like you said, for D'Amico, all eyes are on you when it comes to him. He knows how he wants you to play in his system and his defense.
But it
And
also lets you know like what why you should be confidently looking at the defense, because like you don't really hear too much about competition in the secondary. But that's because that group of guys was together last year. They come back. So I have a strong belief that because you have like Desmond King, Tavares Thomas, and those guys, the Stevie Nelsons who've been in that room, there probably was an element of competition there already. Now it's just turned the fuck up. So them dogs been fighting. Now they're still fighting. You know what I mean? Kind
yeah,
of the same thing with defensive line. Like, oh shit, um, Will Anderson showed up and this kid ain't ever took a pro snap and he's the big dog and all these other guys are playing catch up. So
yeah.
I love it. To me, I think our defense is underrated. I think it'll be underrated and underappreciated all season.
No, that's what it seems like. I mean, all eyes went for defense on Stingley, Petrie, Jimmy Ward, and the secondary mainly. And everybody just, I mean, we talked about it. Nobody talked about Will Anderson until maybe a few weeks ago. All eyes were on CJ as a rookie. You forgot, there was people that forgot we had Will. They're like, oh yeah, we drafted him also. And it's like, cool, let him do what he wants to do.
Yep. Oh,
But
I can tell you, bro. I told you I did a 3-hour film study of D'Amico Ryan's defense the other day. By week 2 or 3, the city of Houston will embrace and fall in love with Jimmy Ward. Like, you will appreciate what this dude is going to do for our defense on the field. He will be the point guard on the field. He is going to help us. He's going to not only help us be in position because he knows what D'Amico wants to do, he's going to make plays. So, like,
I mean,
remember that name
this dude bodied Dalton Schultz in practice.
and hurt him.
Like he bodied his tight end. He's like, what? And
But
I do you. I know you've seen the videos because we've been watching them. Like, do you mind whenever the defense is jarring at the offense the way that
nope.
they are? I love it. It's because you're gonna get that either way. You might as
I
well
was
get
gonna
it.
say you have your homeboy on the at practice, John. You don't if you can't handle what he's saying to you, that opponent is gonna bar none. Because
Yeah.
I've been around some shit that was said, and I was like, he might shoot you after this.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at it. I loved it. Like whenever, especially the secondary in them, were like telling the wide receivers, like, "Nah, dog, you ain't getting that shit." Or they'll go up to CJ and they're like, "Nah, that was a shitty throw, dog. Like, you ain't getting that shit on me." And then you look at the linebackers, and I mean, we talk like I said, Cashman. I've just been seeing a lot of videos on him, and dude is just pesky, pesky,
See, I
pesky.
don't like to use this word a lot because I think it's overused and misunderstood. Like, but that chirping, that shit talk, that's how you create a dog. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people say, "Oh, he a dog." It's like he ain't no fucking dog. He's a big fish in a little pond. But we get out there and get grimy together. If I make you bleed, you make me bleed. I get on your nerves. I get on your nerves. But I know I can't break you. Yeah, that's the dude I want to go play football with.
And there was somebody that said it best. There was a lot of people talking about how Will Anderson was doing very well, and then Tunsil got his guys in order and was like, "Nah, we ain't letting this youngster get us." And then there was a whole day where he couldn't do nothing, and Tunsil and Titus were like, "Nah, dog, you ain't getting nothing on us."
That's what Will said. He was like, it's like even when you're not successful, it's still success because he's like, I'm gonna go beat on this dude for a little bit, and then I'm gonna switch and go beat on this dude. And the way that they play their position and the responsibilities at the position are so different that you're getting different looks. And he's like, Laramie Tunsil is like an all pro pretty much. So he's like, how do you not get better doing that? So I might as well give my best effort here.
Yep. And that's one thing Tunsil said. He goes, we're gonna grow together. He goes, iron's gonna sharpen iron. He goes, and there's gonna be days where he beats me, and there's gonna be days where I don't let him beat me at all. He goes, but like you said, that's how you get better when you go up against quality talent and all that stuff. And that's why, as much as we look at our linebackers right now, as much as we look at our secondary, and I know people they'll be mad when they're like, "Oh, CJ threw an interception." I'm like, "Well, yeah, but is that only on CJ, or is that on how good our secondary is, how good our linebackers are going up against,
And not only that, is the defense is always going to show up more prepared than the offense. Like it takes the offense more time to create cadence and familiarity and that kind of thing. But that's also going to be how it is in the regular season. And that's why I feel like our defense is going to be underappreciated because we're going to go into the season punching people in the face and they're going to be like, oh, their offense just ain't prepared. And it's like, no, we're just that fucking good. Like you can't tell me their offense ain't prepared when we're still doing it in week 14. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Put some respect on our defensive name. Texas defense slanging at D.
I mean, you got a defensive minded coach. Most of the time, what that means, if your GM does what they're supposed to do, you're going to set your coach up for success.
Let me tell you how another thing I want you to take into consideration that maybe people haven't thought about is our defensive coordinator Matt, I forgot his last name, came from Arizona. He did exceptionally well at coaching up his D line. So D'Amico's like, okay, you're the D coordinator. Worry about that defensive line. These linebackers and them safeties, I got this. You know what I'm saying? So it just excites me, bro, because you're putting people there to do a certain, not I want to say a certain thing, but their shit will shine through with the team. You know what I'm saying? A defensive line coach who could help. You know what I mean?
And it's exactly what you just said. When D'Amico, the way he built this staff was, what are you good at? What are you good at? What are you good at? Okay, you're good at this. Now I'm going to go get this. And we saw it because our only good thing last year was special teams. And the only coach he kept was our special teams coach,
Frank Ross.
Yes. So it was like, no, Frank, you're staying. I know what you're good at. Focus on that. I'm going to get you some talent. I'll get you a Tank Dell out there to run some stuff. I'll get you some quality backup players for, set your special teams and all that stuff. And so it, like you said best, he sets his coaches up for success, which then sets his players up for success. And if you're not excited as a Texans fan, which we've seen the training camp videos, it seems like the city is rejuvenated again with this team, with the culture that they're building, with them going all in on offense, defense. You can't just not be excited about it.
I'm gonna go ahead and call it, and this might be a hot take. I don't give a fuck what you call it. Under this regime of D'Amico Ryans, at some point we'll get our best version of Texas defense we've ever seen. Like at some point in the next 2 or 3 years, you'll see the best defense the Texans have ever played. And that's not a shot at JJ Watt because it's like he didn't have the talent around him that we probably are about to put together because we didn't have those kind of picks back then. But I just feel like with Stingley and Christian and Will Anderson, like you're putting playmakers and leaders at all three levels, and Petrie, you know what I'm saying? Like,
no, that you look at talent wise, and I get it. We've been to the playoffs. I mean, we got destroyed in the playoffs, all that. But talent wise, from what they're building, what we have, if that is not the goal or what you think is going to happen, then either we're going to be very underwhelming, or we're just all tripping on something because the talent is there, the coaching is there.
All I ask for is what y'all give San Francisco and and Philly is like, you don't have to give us anything on name value because of who's on the team, but when we earn it, don't take it from us. Yeah. Give us what we earn. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I have a feeling that we're going to do good. And I don't think we'll get as many takeaways as last year, but I think there will be a better defense.
I mean, you and me said it best that the one word they used for us last year was pesky.
Big time.
If you don't think that defense is going to elevate to another level with D'Amico there and his staff, then I mean, I don't know what to tell you, I guess.
And also, we had a shit ton of picks last year because there was like a level of disrespect. Like they threw on us, they didn't give a shit. Like, you're not going to do that on us anymore. You know what I mean?
You don't get dudes.
But we're still gonna get the ball from you.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be a fun year. We'll see who makes it. You may get your wish. Your boy may get cut.
And I don't want to hate on you, Christian Kirksey. I hope you find your way to another team. I just don't like you on mine.
What'd you say? You're lazy.
You're lazy, bro. You're lazy.
Oh man. All right, Texas fans, let us know what you think of training camp right now. Let us know who you're looking at as one of the top linebackers, who you're liking in the secondary. We'll be doing another video, more likely on offense. Wide receiver room is another one that is blowing up with competition. But if you like this type of stuff, let us know in the comments. Let us know what you think of our predictions. That being said, like, subscribe to the network right here. It does amazing work for us. Any questions, comment down below. We got you covered.
Texans merch drop coming soon.
Be on the lookout.
And one of them are a banger. Just wait till you see this one we got.
I said it's going to be good. You can find it. If you know us, you can get it from one of us. If our Facebook or YouTube, we'll be having it all over the place. So be on the lookout. Stay hydrated. Stay inside. Turn the AC on. We out of here, Houston. Later.
How much I'm working for this? I swear my dreams are too important.